Hey guys, what's going on here? Welcome to another vlog of my professional photography. And today I'm in Chengdu in Sichuan. It's very famous for spicy food and pretty women basically. And this is our first gig, hotel shoot this year. After Chinese New Year, and this year is the year of the pig. So guys, happy Chinese New Year. And today I'm gonna tell you guys which of my lens made me over $100,000 basically in revenues. So I'm gonna reveal the secret, but not so much of a secret, but so today we're talking about lenses and basically which lens has made me most in terms of revenues throughout my career. Now, since I've focused pretty much on shooting architecture, in particular hotels, so you might have guessed which lens it is. And it may differ from whatever you're shooting. If you're shooting portraits, food and stuff, it may be your 105 1.4. If you're shooting sports photography or wildlife photography, it may be your 70 to 200 millimeter, etc. But in my case, I've been shooting for 7 years, but for the past few years, just exclusively hotels and stuff. Now to a point, as of pretty much last year, I started to turn down a lot of projects, food-related projects, portraits, fashion, and stuff. So simply because I don't have time anymore, and I want to focus on just shooting hotels, because the other stuff is just pain in the neck somehow. I don't know. So in the past 7 years, I've been shooting way above 100 hotels already. And my number one to-go lens is the 14 to 24 millimeter. So this is the baby that made me more than over $100,000 in terms of revenues, or maybe more, I don't know. Yeah, this is probably the best lens you can use for architecture and stuff. And you might ask, why don't you use the 14 millimeter, like prime lenses, 14 millimeter or 24 millimeter 1.4, which has a lower f-stop, like 1.4. The reason why I don't use those, or I have those but I don't use them, because they're kind of constrained in terms of focal length. So they don't have the flexibility if I can focus in between 14 and 24. So I normally don't like to shoot 14 millimeter wide, because it gets distorted. I only shoot it when I don't have an option, when there's less room in the room, so you can't go back, so you have to shoot 14. But whenever I find space, I try to zoom in a little bit so it's less distorted. Try to shoot 24 or 20, so you don't have that flexibility to zoom in and zoom out with prime lenses. That may be a little bit better in terms of the f-stop, but for architecture, I rarely shoot it at lower f-stops, 2.8 or 1.4, because you want to make sure it's sharp throughout the picture. So we normally shoot it at f8, between f8 and f11. So yeah, so because of these focal length constraints, so I don't use those. I do have I use a 50 millimeter prime lens, 35 and 24 for a very particular specific use for certain portraits or certain images that I want to achieve. But primarily for architecture, it's just this zoom lens here. And as of last year, I have bought the Sigma 14 to 24, which is actually cheaper than the actual Nikon, and a newer and better, much better. It feels more firm, like it's new, and it has less distortion, less chromatic aberrations. So overall, a much better lens for less money, and the Nikon is just a rip-off. So forget it. If you decide to buy which lens to buy a Sigma. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is my lens, these 14 to 24 lens that I made way over $100,000 with this. That's pretty much it. I see you guys next time.